it wasn't the first time that he came into my room with my little sister beside me. He used to do it all the time, all the time. But anyway, I remember an argument out there one day. There was fishermen down on the jetty, and my stepfather had punched my mother in the face. She was bleeding, and I went running down to these men asking them to help. Please come and help my mum. He's hurting my mummy. And of course, they could hear the screams, but they never come up to help. They didn't want to get involved. They just packed their things and took off. But by this time, we didn't have the old Morris Ute anymore. I think he had a FJ, anyway, a Holden, a family car. So we're trying to get away and take our mother away, and we're down going through the paddock. Next thing, he gets in the car and he's trying to run us all over. And he's going round and round in circles in this paddock trying to run us over. Well, my mother was a bigger lady, and she didn't move very fast, and she was intoxicated anyway. Us kids were all right. We were little. We were fast. We were used to running through the paddocks, so we could get out of the way. But we were trying to protect our mother all the time from this man running her over. And he wouldn't have cared if he had to run her over or run one of us kids over, because it was so close so many times. And eventually he just gave up. I can't remember how it stopped, but I just remember being horrified, scared, screaming, running through this paddock. After thinking about that, I do remember how it stopped. At this time, my eldest cousin Johnny lived with us on this property, and he'd gone out somewhere, and he had a license, so he could drive because he was much older than us. And he came up the road when all this was happening. So that's what made him stop. But then my cousin took us away off the property, and I think we went and stayed at his parents' place, or might have gone back to my grandmother's, I don't know. But we came back on the Sunday afternoon to, I think we were going back to get things, or I don't know what. But anyway, we ended up back there, and here was this rope hanging in the tree with a noose on it, as though he's manipulating my mother that he was going to take his own life. So anyway, we ended up staying back there, but my cousin wasn't allowed to. Oh, that's right, he came back with his father, and yeah, because his father was there too. But then my stepfather ordered them off the property, so he went back with his father. When we moved on this property, there was geese on the property. I don't remember how many. There was a few, but there was one goose, a male, that used to stick pretty close to the house all the time. And like all of us could walk out around him, but as soon as my stepfather would walk out that door, and like we called him Goosey, he could be down the paddock a bit, he would see my stepfather come out that door, and he would come up squawking and flapping and flying towards him. He hated my stepfather. I can understand why. I don't know why he would just, because I don't know whether my stepfather ever hurt him or did anything to him, but he used to attack my stepfather all the time. I think he knew he was an evil man. Animals know things. They're a really good protector. We were always put so much responsibility on us as little kids, and especially my brother, because he was the boy and he was the eldest, but he got allowed to do a lot more than what I was allowed to do as we grew up in life. But we did used to have a lot of responsibility put on us. And I remember one night there was going to be a big storm come, and my stepfather had sent my brother down to check the boat. I don't know what really happened. My stepfather should have gone. He was the man. He was the adult. He should not have relied on a young child to have that kind of responsibility with a storm coming and this boat. Anyway, the storm came. I don't know what happened, but the boat ended up sinking. It was at the end of the jetty. So, of course, this was my brother's fault. You were told to do this job. And, oh my God, did my poor brother get a absolute flogging. I thought he was going to kill him. We were only little kids. He was only a child. That responsibility should never have been put on him. But my stepfather didn't like doing things because he was always too busy drinking. So somebody else had to be responsible for these things, and unfortunately that was my poor brother most of the time. We used to also spend a lot of time on weekends and long weekends and things going over to Stratty, South Stratty at the time. And so we'd spend a lot of time over there. And us kids were actually allowed to go and play on the sand dunes and do things by ourselves. And we'd be allowed to go swimming and things. And, well, we used to fish, and that was a lot of fun. But I used to sleepwalk. As a child, I think I was always trying to get away. I don't remember it. I don't remember sleepwalking, but apparently I sleepwalked all the way through my life. And I think I stopped when my stepfather finally passed away when I was about 13. But anyway, I sleepwalked this one night. And I'd gone forever down the beach, apparently, and I'd wandered into somebody else's camp. And now they had seen me playing and being around this camp, so they walked me back up. But I was all wet, so obviously I'd been swimming or something. And so they took me back to the camp and said, oh, this one belongs to you. We think we've seen you playing. So from then on, whenever we'd go to Stratty or go camping somewhere, I used to have to sleep between my parents, just in case I got out of bed and went sleepwalking that they felt me. So you know what that meant? Who would pull me closer to him on his side while I slept, while he slept, while everybody else was around? Disgusting man.